myself, I'm not just gonna stand here and wait. All I just decide what is to be my fate. All by myself, I'm not just gonna stay here and wait.
Good morning, everybody. Somebody give me a 5x5. I've got little to no signal right now, so just let me know if you can hear me okay. We've got a short show tonight as we didn't have a flashback to share. Not sure what happened last year, and we just didn't have a story last year on the 28th of June for some reason. We do have a ton of them for tomorrow, though, so tomorrow the flashback will be right back with us, and thank you, everybody, for confirming that I'm okay. Like I said, it'll be a short one tonight. We do have 4 articles to share with you, and then we're out of here. I do have a very special post-credit scene for someone who needs a little FYC. Anyway, let's dive into it. I'll be back in about 11 minutes. I don't want to talk about it. It's not a win. As nobody knows until I put out this, I have a Google Chrome group set up for things that I follow for the paper. I put all the links there for the fundraisers, for example. It's in a Chrome group that I can summon and get rid of with a click of the mouse. This is the very first thing I do when I sit down to do the paper at 3 a.m. each morning, and I open my GoFundMe Stuff Chrome group and start going through the campaigns and marking them down in my tracking XLS file. I start pretty much in the order that they were added to the XLS file, so of course my own campaign is listed last. So this morning, I started with Denver Metro Audits, goose egg. On to Craig Hendry, goose egg. Poor Press with Rancor gets a goose egg and hasn't had a donation in over 2 months. Direct D, goose egg. Okay, good day so far. 3 real chilies and goose eggs. Fake chili goose eggs. Silly chili goose eggs. Even better, got my attention. For public safety, continues the goose egg for his campaign at 24 days without a donation. Long Island Audit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All goose eggs. 2 left. Ask Elmo. Dare I say goose egg? Oh yes, goose egg. That just leaves my campaign. I mean, let's face it, no one cares about that one. This is going to be a gimme. The first day in a streak of goose eggs. All I have to do is click on the very last tab in the browser and... You like me. You really like me. But you like me enough to keep this column going as well. So you hate me. You hate everything about me. You want me to wake up each morning at 3 a.m., feed the cats, and be tied to the desk looking at GoFundMe campaigns in a column that should rightfully die in a week of goose eggs. Wondering if my microphone will cut out as I screamed that when I read this newscast. I don't know if it did or not. I won't know to the playback. Oh well. This has gone from a fluff piece I use to start every broadcast and let you viewers filter in, to a nightmare. A nightmare of being tied to the desk and forever counting goose eggs. It's not fair. It's not funny. It's endless torture that turns me into Daffy Duck crossed with Elmer Fudd. Gives someone in Atlanta quiet time, alone with his mother's Hoover, cackling with great delight to the fact that I'm in pain yet again. But it also means I'm touched. I'm touched by the fact that someone would hate me so much that they'd throw a couple bucks at me so I can continue to feed the animals, eat, and keep the lights on at the paper every day. For that I have to say thank you. Thank you to the wonderful readers who want to punish me. Everything is advertising. So if you'd like to become one of the wonderful readers who like to torture me and keep me writing this wretched column every morning, we do have a GoFundMe of our own located in the scroll below. All proceeds go to keeping the lights on, eating, and writing new stories to feature here and on ReallyCoolSite.org. DeWitt found innocent of charges. Police enthusiast and convicted sex offender Jeremy DeWitt was found not guilty on all charges on Thursday after a 2-day trial in Osceola County, Florida. The jury found the state had not proved their claims that DeWitt violated his sex offender status by failing to register a website and new YouTube channel created by his girlfriend and featuring DeWitt. It was a rare win for DeWitt, who remains incarcerated in Florida, awaiting trial on multiple other charges, as the state seemed to be ill-prepared to prove its case. Since it is a DeWitt case, according to the Jeremy DeWitt News by PoliceTube's Uncle YouTube channel, there was controversy. DeWitt was not allowed to present girlfriend Jennifer as a witness, as DeWitt had contacted her the night before and coached her testimony. The prosecution, who was monitoring DeWitt's jail phone calls, provided the calls to the judge with a motion to disqualify Jennifer as a witness. After hearing the calls, the judge had no choice but to rule Jennifer as an unreliable witness and bar her testimony. However, the state erred when it showed a generic IP address from Jeremy DeWitt's home that was associated with the registration of the website and YouTube address. The jury found that they did not present enough information to show that the IP address belonged to DeWitt. DeWitt is still facing further charges in Osceola County, Orange County, and has federal tax charges pending. DeCastro warned in Ohio in Nevada case. Jose Chile DeCastro was warned by the clerk of the United States District Court of the District of Nevada on Thursday that he has until July 27, 2024 to serve the defendants in his Nevada-based lawsuit against defendants from Ironton, Ohio. DeCastro filed this lawsuit in March of this year in federal court as a functional duplicate of the court case he had lost in Ohio last year, but was still appealing at the time of the filing. DeCastro's appeal in that case was denied this week, and the lawsuit was finally dismissed. The Ohio case was dismissed with prejudice, meaning that he shouldn't be able to make another case on those charges. However, he appealed, and the appeal lingered long enough to keep the case on life support, long enough to have him file it again in Nevada, claiming he now lived there, so he has standing. Normally, the two cases would be merged. Federal courts don't like it when you bring multiple copies of the same case in two different districts, so the normal process would be to merge the two cases and go forward with the newly merged case. Except, he just lost the Ohio appeal, and the Ohio ruling stated that he lost with prejudice, and this is where the brain should start to hurt. DeCastro now has until July 27th to do the basic thing, serve everyone he is accused in the case. Once they are served and accept that they are part of the case, they can apparently file for a dismissal, since they literally just won the previous version of the case with prejudice, so it should never bother them again. But wait, there's more. Not only did DeCastro file a copy of the federal case in Nevada, but he also double-dipped in Nevada, filing essentially the same case in state-level court. That case is also just sitting. DeCastro paid the filing fees, and he generated the summons he was going to serve all the defendants with, but he went to jail before he could serve anyone, and thus it sits. Don't count on the courts to realize he's just double and triple dipping. They've shown time after time that they don't care and won't do anything without a motion from the defense. The smart bet is that DeCastro will get the minor win that the Ironton defendants will have to hire lawyers in Nevada and fight for at least a year to have both cases thrown out, if he ever gets past stage 1 and serves the defendants. Turtle Boy leaks Karen Reed juror descriptions. A short time after an Apple iPhone live photo leaked of attorney Alan Jackson with his arms around rumored girlfriend and client Karen Reed, Aidan Turtleboy Kearney leaked his descriptions of the jury in Reed's case to Twitter, followed by reposts of all the messages he's received criticizing his action. Kearney had previously promised in tweets that he would poison the jury pool, ensuring that Reed's case would never have a proper verdict. His descriptions of the jurors included their gender, age estimate, and if he thought they were cute or not. It is not certain if his basic descriptions will have any impact at all on the actual court case, but it has provided distraction as the Jackson Reed photos have begun to circulate. Jackson, who is still assumed to be married to wife Lisa Casaban, has not released a statement on his alleged affair with Karen Reed as of press time. The Reed trial ended its third day with no verdict on Thursday. Jurors seem to have angered the judge as they went home before 4 p.m. without a verdict. The original expectation had been they would work until the court closed at 4:30 p.m. each day, but that apparently didn't happen, which resulted in the judge thanking the jury for their time. A reported incident happened between victim John O'Keefe's family and supporters of Karen Reed during the lunch break on Thursday. Multiple unconfirmed reports had the family accosted by Karen Reed supporters as the family assembled at the local VFW. Local police were allegedly called by the Karen Reed supporters when they were not allowed into the building. The situation resolved without arrest, and the supporters were told that it was private property and they needed a membership to be let into the building. Online speculation by the Karen Reed camp, including public discussions between Turtleboy and Larry the DUI guy foreman, has been that a lone juror has been holding up the verdict. Speculation had been that one of the jurors had been a retired police officer who was holding out before it changed to being a younger woman holding out. The speculation comes as no one in the camp seems to know why the jurors are taking so long to deliberate, as they believe that this was an open and shut case, and thus the background drama has already taken over. From middle-aged love affairs to scorned turtles to Tom CPU figuring out whatever Tom CPU really means to hordes randomly abusing the victim's family, things will only get worse until a verdict is reached. The Karen Reed trial continues later this morning. Future Jim here. Friday's early morning controversies gave way by midday as word came that the jury was hung and could not move forward. The jury sent a note to Judge Canone a little after noon that they did not think there was a way forward to a verdict. Judge Canone heard from the defense, who said the jurors obviously had enough time to deliberate and that they would accept a hung jury. The prosecution pointed out that it was an awfully short week and the jurors had been deliberating for a very short time. The judge ultimately sided with the prosecution, stating that the jury hadn't really even had enough time to go through the evidence, let alone come up with a verdict in the case. The jury was then summoned and sent back to deliberate. Ultimately, they did not come back with a verdict before ending the day. Also of note, during the lunch break, as the pro-Karen Reed crowd congregated around the buffer zone, a group of counter-protesters, led by Masshole Troll Mafia leader Kate Peter, marched through their ranks to deliver their message that Reed was a murderer who must be held accountable for her actions. The group of women, including Lindsay Gaiatini, the ex-girlfriend of Aidan Turtleboy Kearney, dominated press coverage during the noon hour and were featured on the Law and Crime Network. Okay, folks, I told you it was a short one today. One update to that last story. Aidan Turtleboy Kearney has spent the last half an hour posting information about all the women who were in the counter-protest, pointing out that most of them used to be Turtle fans and that they all used to believe that Karen Reed was innocent till they didn't. So we do have a Twitter forum, Gia Reed's Mean Tweets forum over on our Discord server. So please take a look if you want to keep track of what Turtleboy is doing tonight. It is pretty stupid. Speaking of stupid, I'm turning my brain off for the night, so I will not be on the Poop Scoop Shoot thing on Mark the Sarcastic Lawyer's channel tonight at 8. However,
Hopewell, so will Mark, so will Shuggy, and it's supposed to be a blast at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. where it counts, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific time. Scoot on over there, and there's a lot of drama to be talked about this week. Finally, we're gonna hit our closing credits, and then we have a very, very special rendition of a message for our biggest fan, FYC. Give me an FYC inside chat, please, as we go to our closing credits.